Owns the Water is a prose lesson prescribed for 6th standard in term 3. This lesson is divided into 3 sections, section 1, 2 and 3. We are going to deal with the first and the second section now. These are the 4 different seasons. The first one is winter season. You find the entire place covered with snow. The second one is the summer season, and as you know, summer is the season where you find the climate is very hot. And the next is the rainy season. You find people going out carrying an umbrella with them. And finally, it is the autumn season. So autumn season is the season where leaves wither. Like you find in the next picture, trees without leaves. So normally in this season, you find all the trees shedding their leaves. And so this season is named as the autumn season. In this picture, you find the peacock dancing. So the question based on this picture is, during which season do you see a peacock dance? And the answer for this is rainy season. There lived a small bird. It searched for a place to lay eggs. This place was far away from the city, and it was quite a dusty village. The bird found a dry land like this. You see in this picture the bird standing in a dry land. So the bird started looking for a place which had a bush or a tree, but there was no bush or tree in sight. So the bird was very disappointed. It wanted to lay eggs in a better place. So it lost all hope. Finally, the bird found a depression, a shallow depression in the ground. And the tiny bird, started removing the stones with the help of her claws. In this way, she broadened the hole and then she laid her eggs there. The mother then protected the young ones. She fed her babies with insects. Then they became very big, and after a few days, the bird and the young ones left the place and flew away to a different place. The narrator of this lesson, Who Owns the Water, tells us that the hole which the bird made later on became an important one. Let's see why this depression became a significant one. The hole which the bird made remained dusty for some time. No one occupied the spot. But one day a wild boar came to this spot and settled down in this depression. The boar felt uncomfortable to lie down in the small pit. So he started scraping and digging this pit till it became big enough for it to lie down comfortably. The pit became so big that he found it comfortable to move his hands and feet freely in his sleep. The indication of the fading sun and the sound like thunder that arose in his stomach made him wake up from his deep sleep. The hungry boar then left the place and never visited it again. You find some wild dogs in this picture. The correct term for a group of wild dogs is a pack of wild dogs. You see them sniffing the dry ground. In section 2, a pack of wild dogs came to the spot where the wild boar was lying. They came to that place by catching the scent of the boar. They sniffed the entire place where the boar lay. Then they made a high-pitched cry and started digging the ground to catch the boar. Finally, realizing that the boar was not there and that they could not get dinner, the entire pack, that is the wild dogs, left the place. Now, the tiny depression or the shallow depression which the bird made earlier became a little more bigger and wider than it was before. This is the picture of heavy rainfall, and you know that there was a heavy rain in that particular spot, and it rained continuously for 3 days and 3 nights, and as a result the patch of land which was dry earlier now became totally wet due to this heavy rainfall. The narrator says that there were some serious looking people in the village, and even those people were walking about with smiles on their faces as the entire earth looked wet and fresh after the heavy rain. Here in this picture, you find a pit filled with rainwater, and you don't find any grass around it. But later on, this place became a brighter green one as grass started growing around its edges. The pit became a grassy spot. Buffaloes discovered this grassy spot, and as you know, buffaloes like to lie and roll in the mud. So the buffaloes started lying down in this mud, and then they turned the hole into a muddy pit. In the first picture, you find a pit, but there is no grass around it. In the second picture, you find the green grass around the pit and some buffaloes lying down in the water. And in the third picture, you find once again you find some buffaloes lying down and rolling down in the water, making the entire water a muddy one. The narrator says that he hasn't seen, but he was told that many afternoons buffaloes gathered in this spot, and they used to come in large numbers, and they started trampling the soil, and the pit, which was once a tiny depression, started widening and it became very big, and it became a little watering hole. And the buffaloes later on started living down in this place happily. Shallow depression, small pit with little depth. Claws, curved pointed horny nail on the foot in birds and some animals. Proportion, quantity or degree. Snooze, have a short, light sleep, especially during the day. Glance, quick look. Elusive, difficult to find, catch, or achieve. Hooves, a hard cover on the feet of some mammals. Glee, great delight. Temporary, not permanent. Monsoon, seasonal wind which brings rain. Rare, not happening often. Discovered, find unexpectedly or during a search. Complete the sentences given below with words or phrases. You have to choose the answer which is given in the brackets and then complete the sentence with the words or phrases which is given. The wild dogs came to the spot to catch. The answer for this is wild boar. The rains came and poured. The answer for this is for 3 days and 3 nights. The whole earth smelt blank and blank. There are two blanks given here. So the answer for the first blank is wet and the answer for the second blank is fresh. The hole in the ground was filled. The answer for this is with rainwater. The buffalo blank in the hole. The answer for this is wallowed. The hole became blank and again once again there is another blank. So there are two blanks given here in this sentence. So the answer for the first blank is wide and the answer for the second one is a watering hole.